At Home with Morgan Hakw is sponsored by Veridian Credit Union, an Iowa original since 1934.
Welcome to Perfect Game Field here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. I'm Morgan Hakw alongside Matt Nelson, and Matt knows more about ballparks than I think anybody out there. Matt, take an estimate of how many ballparks you've visited.
I don't even have to estimate on it. It's 93 different pro ballparks, so that's the majors, minors, independent leagues. I'm up to 93, hoping to make it 95 by the end of the week, so we'll see if the weather holds for me to make a couple new ones in Indiana.
Now, what two would those be? Gary's one of them, right?
Yeah, Gary. I hope to make it to Gary, and then I hope to make it to Indianapolis, which is actually the closest affiliated ballpark that I have not been to. So I just enjoy going to different ballparks. The ballparks themselves are different, the fans are different in each, the promotions are different, all that kind of stuff.
Now, you've been to every ballpark in the Midwest League, correct?
Yeah, I did that when I was working for KCRG. We did a series called Ballparks of the Midwest, in which I went to all 16 ballparks in the Midwest League over a 2-year span, and then that series extended for a couple more years beyond that, and we did a lot of other ballparks like the Iowa Cubs, the Memphis Redbirds, that sort of thing as well.
Now, you're a big Twins fan. You've been at Target Field opening day since it opened, right?
Yeah, I've been to all 4 openers up there, and the weather seems to deteriorate with each year. This year was about 35 degrees, but probably saw future Hall of Famer and Justin Verlander pitching against the Twins. But I've been a Twins fan since I was 7. They are my team more than any other sport, and so very excited about the Colonels' affiliation with the Twins now.
Certainly. You've got the Metrodome t-shirt on here today.
I don't think those are very popular. It was a little upgrade for the Twins when they went from the Metrodome to Target Field, but I guess this, the vintage t-shirts are always in style. And then sporting the Elizabethton Bim Ritter hat as well, the Elizabethton Twins. I think it throws people sometimes when they see Twins and then they see established 1974 on there. But the Twins have had an affiliate in Elizabethton since that time. It's been Twins the entire time. And a lot of big names have gone through there. Maurer, Morneau, Puckett, Herbeck. So, and now we're seeing a lot of former Elizabethton Twins coming here to Cedar Rapids.
Talk a little bit about the ballpark down there in Tennessee.
The Appalachian League is not known for big ballparks, fancy ballparks. It's really community baseball down there. Literally, the game that I went to several years ago in Elizabethton, the guy who took our tickets when we entered the ballpark was flipping burgers 3 innings later. It's that kind of thing. So it's not a real glamorous ballpark. You could call it probably a glorified high school field. But those small towns really get into the Appalachian League baseball down there in Johnson City, Elizabethton, all those small towns down there in northeastern Tennessee, parts of North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia.
Do you have a favorite ballpark you've been to?
Yeah, my favorite ballpark is actually Rickwood Field down in Birmingham, Alabama. If you've seen the movie 42, it is featured in that movie. It's specifically referenced early on, but then later on it's kind of disguised and they use some effects to make it into a major league ballpark. But it was one of the 3 ballparks that they used heavily in the movie 42, the Jackie Robinson movie. The Birmingham Barons are the AA affiliate of the White Sox in the Southern League. They only use Rickwood Field now once a year. They go back and they play 1 game a year there, and that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. I got to go to that in 2010 when it turned 100 years old. It opened in 1910. Guys like Reggie Jackson, Willie Mays played there through the years. It's a really historic ballpark, and it is an old school ballpark and still is. It gets used by college teams, high school teams for the most part these days.
What makes a ballpark unique in your opinion, or what makes it great?
I think that's up to any baseball fan, depending on what they like. Is it the food? Is it the fans? I went to probably one of the worst ballparks I've been to in Huntsville, Alabama. Especially because it's a AA ballpark. I mean, it's more size-wise, it's big, but in terms of upkeep and that sort of thing, it's more like an Appalachian League ballpark. But I had a great experience there because there was a group of crazy diehard fans that sit right behind the home team dugout with their cowbells and their noisemakers, and they go out and they rake the infield, and you're like, this is AA baseball. It's unique, but it was a fantastic experience. So sometimes it's about, hey, the way they designed this ballpark, the way it fits the city is really cool. Sometimes it's about the food. Sometimes it's about the fans you meet. You never know. That's what makes it interesting. That's why I've gone out of my way to go to 93 of them. So.
And since you've been to 93, what makes Cedar Rapids a nice ballpark.
Oh, it's got to be the best tenderloin in baseball down there, right? I can't come here without getting a tenderloin on the first base side. But, I think Cedar Rapids, it's the Iowa nice thing. You come here, you're going to be greeted with a smile by all the game day staff here at the ballpark.
Now, you're no longer at KCRG, but you can still find your Ballparks in the Midwest League features on the KCRG website.
Yeah, they're still on there. If you go to kcrg.com/sports/ballparks, you'll find them. There's also a link on the bottom of the KCRG sports page. I work for the University of Iowa now in the athletic department, doing all kinds of video stuff, but still going to ballparks when I can. And, for Twins fans or for baseball fans in general that haven't been to Target Field, you got to get up there. It's phenomenal. We've got nice statues around the outside of the ballpark. That ballpark really fits well into a really small space. It's not one where it's just surrounded by parking lots. It's a city ballpark. It's got nice artwork throughout. They really tied it into Minnesota. They've got the Town Ball Tavern. They've got Herbeck's Bar in there. There's great seats throughout it. I've only sat there, I've been there 8 times, but one time what we did was we got tickets on the secondary market because they only sell them season ticket packages on the Delta Legends Club, which it has great sight lines and the food is phenomenal. The seats are padded. Target Field is great. It's probably better to go up there in the summertime than it is in April, but there's no bad time to be at the ballpark.
A little better than the Metrodome.
A little better than the Metrodome. Well, you didn't have to worry about rainouts, and you could get in cheap. But those are the only 2 advantages of the Metrodome.
Well, that's Matt Nelson of KCRG's Ballparks in the Midwest League. You can go to the KCRG website. What's that website again, one more time?
kcrg.com/sports/ballparks. There won't be any new additions this year, but for the most part, they're still pretty current. You'll see that like South Bend is a little outdated because they put a lot of money into their ballpark recently. The names have changed a few times. Peoria just changed their name of their stadium again. But check out those ballpark visits and find ways to go to new ballparks. There's always something interesting to find at new ballparks.
Well, thanks, Matt, for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here, Morgan.
Veridian Credit Union knows what I'm about. I have strong values and beliefs, and I support important causes. Is that true where you bank? I trust Veridian to do what's right for myself and my community. They make me feel welcome, and I like that they save me money. They make things easy for me. They have an app, and they're open 7 days a week. That's why I love Veridian Credit Union. Veridian gets me. That's why I switched.
Let's take a look at your Kaplan University Skills for Success. Colonels look to continue their great play during doubleheaders this season. The Colonels are 7-1 in double dips. Look to improve that tonight in game number 2. That's your Kaplan University Skills for Success. Time to take a look at your TwinsDaily.com Twins organizational recap. Twins lost 4-2 to the White Sox. Rochester lost 7-4 to Durham. New Britain lost 8-2 in Double-A action, and Fort Myers dropped a 9-3 game in the Florida State League. That's your TwinsDaily.com Twins organizational recap for yesterday.
I don't know how you did it.
What, riding our bikes across the state?
Well, getting my master's?
No, paying off your house early.
Oh, that was easy. A while back, we talked with Veridian Credit Union, and they got us into a 10 and done loan. Refinancing lowered our rate, and closing costs were only $200.
Yeah, it was really easy, and we saved enough money to take this trip to Europe.
Veridian's been great, helping us with all of our finances.
Now, if they could only teach us French.
Kick in the pitch. Drive to deep center field off the bat of Walker. Deep to center field for a grand slam over the batter's eye, and the Colonels up 4-0 on Walker's 3rd grand slam here in 2013. What a blast from Adam Brett Walker, and he breaks a scoreless tie in a big way. Bottled soda, water, and regular draft beer. Fly ball to center. Takes Clark back, and he drops the ball. Now Buxton rounds second, goes to third, will come on home. The throw from Soto to the plate, he dives, he's safe, and the Colonels have a 5-2 lead. Hurlbut set. The pitch, check swing, he went around, strike 3 swinging, and the Colonels win.